What's going on, y'all? We're back with a little bit more parkour news, and we got a little bit of updates on the situation with the Storror boys, and in particular Callum, um, and just a couple more things that have been going on over the last couple days, and a few updates to fill in the gaps. So let's hop right into it. Right now, I'm just kind of going over a post that was on r/storror by newly acquired Glutton. And the name of the post is "The First Hole Storror Can't Climb Their Way Out of." Callum Powell pleads guilty to possessing 3,000 indecent images of children. The facts with sources. So if you guys want to link to this Reddit post, it'll be down in the description below. But let's get right into it. On the 7th of May, Storror team was made aware that Callum Powell had pled guilty to offenses related to making and possession of indecent images of children. Prior to this, the team was unaware that Callum had faced these charges. These offenses are appalling, and the team is profoundly shocked and distressed. Storror's work has always been built on inspiring young people. The conduct Callum has admitted to is a betrayal of that, and of the trust placed in him by his team and our audience. Callum has been removed from Storror immediately, with immediate effect, and no longer has any involvement in the company in any capacity. Out of respect for the ongoing legal proceedings, we will not comment further at this stage. That was a announcement made by Storror on the 7th when they supposedly found out about the Callum situation, the 7th of May. Storror's reaction: no further statement has been made by Storror or any of the team members, but changes have been made across the board in the background. A huge backlog of public YouTube videos on their channel have been removed. A few remain, with most likely theory they're attempting to purge Callum from their backlog to avoid profiteering of his likeness or presence, and the remaining videos either don't include him or include him in such a limited way they can use YouTube editing tools to remove him. This appears to have started on the 10th of May. So 7 days ago, as of the recording of this video. Callum was removed from the Storror Parkour Pro game following the revelations. I can actually confirm that because I am in the Discord for the Storror Parkour Pro, because I was actually a backer of the game when they first announced it. So I have access to a lot of those Discord logs. And I'll try and throw a screenshot up right here from when I texted it to the Discord and asked if Callum would be removed from the game, because I was the one who asked if he would be removed from the game. And Dado responded to me saying, yes, he is. They're planning on removing him from the game, and it will be implemented in a hotfix as soon as they possibly can. And I believe I did that on the 7th or 8th. Callum was removed from the Storror Parkour Pro game on 10/25. Hotfix was published by Dado, lead dev on the game. Moving forward on this post, side projects. There have been many suggestions that Drew and Toby's focus on projects outside of Storror is indicative of their preparing for the allegations to come to light and preparing for the subsequent fallout. However, both projects featured Callum in their initial uploads, casting doubt on this theory. See, and that was something that maybe, because I know Drew also just left, and that's going to be a future video that I would like to get into, but Drew just left Storror a couple months ago, so I'm curious to know, did he know? Because he has been distancing himself for a while, and there's a part of me that feels like he's completely, because as far as I know, he's deleted his Instagram, and I'll double check that right now, but I'm pretty sure he's deleted his Instagram, completely wiped it. And so I'm under the assumption that he was prepared for it. I feel like he knew to some degree. And then I'm not too sure about Toby. I haven't been keeping up with Storror recently too much recently anyway, I should say, because I've always kept up with them, but I haven't been like super indulging in their content. But I do know that Toby was working on a project. I thought it was for Storror, but I guess from these sources, it seems like it was a solo or separate project from Storror themselves. Continuing though, the Cigar Sends has entered the chat video was removed from listings, but has now been discovered in the Cigar Sends playlist unlisted. It is available here. Cigar Sends has entered the chat. So it's there, but it's not there. Publicly anyway, unless you have that link. And if you have the link to this article or this Reddit post, which will be down in the description below, then you have the link to it as well. I can personally attest to the fact that it featured Callum in his role as the Storror podcast host. Kindly check the date of these videos released as of March 31st, 2026. The Truth Behind My Disappearance from Drew was released on YouTube March 17th, whereas Drew Behind My Storror Disappearance. This video contains a voiceover of Callum's voice clipped again from Storror podcast. There are also reports that Callum was used in Insta-reel teasers for this video, but I cannot confirm it. This was the same video voiceover or another variant that included it from some way. Reactions from the communities and members associated with Storror. As far as I am aware, Hazal was the first person in close proximity to Storror to release a response, a video of her burning his book with no further comment. Following this, Thanks Dodds, Storror's cameraman, reposted a message from Joey Burgeon. This week has been earth-shattering. Me and those in Brighton community are horrified, disgusted, and in shock. Thoughts are of course with any victims or people directly affected by this. I'm seeing a lot of people very quick to say there must have been signs or his friends must have known, to which I just hope that people know me and the others here in Brighton well enough to know we will always stand up for any sign of this behavior and would never let even a friend get away with it. Over the past few days, us in the Brighton community have been taking time with each other, discuss and process everything that has come to light. As someone who spent a lot of time with Callum, I can wholeheartedly say that I never saw this coming, and I'm frankly disgusted to find out that someone I considered a friend have had in my house, made dinner for, shared memories with, is capable of such monstrosities. It's important to remember that he was clearly very good at hiding this side of his personality. I've seen other people say they've never suspected anything, and this goes for us in the Brighton community too. We've always taken pride in our community here being open against this kind of behavior, which makes it all the more heartbreaking to find out this behavior has in fact been happening within our community. It's easy to point the finger and say people close to him must have known, but before throwing everyone close to him under the bus, please ask yourself, how do you suspect this, especially in someone who was so outspoken against inequality, misogyny, and predatory behaviors? I don't know, that's kind of a cope in my opinion, because how are you going to say, especially in someone who has outspoken against inequality, misogyny, and predatory behaviors, but you go on to commit predatory behaviors? That doesn't really make too much sense. But That's a statement made by Dodds Films. I guess that was their filmer or their cameraman. To go back to the original post, though, then in no particular order, updates as follows. Drew deleted his Insta. See, so that's what I was saying. I had a feeling that he deleted his Instagram because I went to go look through the individual members of Storrors' Instagrams and I couldn't find his. Dom Tomato reported the statement with the addition, horrified that this has happened within our community. I'm unbelievably shocked and lost for words, truly feeling deeply for all the affected by this abhorrent situation. Instagram Philly D posted Daniel Sloss routine about sexual assault, which is pretty powerful. The accounts below are for evidence only. All right, so here we have a couple community responses. It seems like on the 14th of May, so 3 days ago as of recording, multiple victim claims have been found. Here's one. I'll leave a link to it because this one's on Reddit with the post and pictures. And it says, sad to see these cover-ups. Oh, sad to see these. The cover-up is the second betrayal. And it looks like this was posted by Mercedes. And it says, quote unquote, the team was unaware. No, you knew. You chose not to believe me when I told you nearly 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he took advantage of me and many other young girls like me. The trauma has always stuck with me. You called me a vile, evil bitch trying to ruin his life. Vilified, and obstructed me from telling the truth. It's never left me, and you knew. You protected him, a predator. I'm getting a lot of messages about this, and thank you all for your support. As you can imagine, this brings up a lot of trauma, repressed traumatic memories. Another post by Yoga with Olive. Found out my ex is a convicted pedophile today. It's been an intense 24 hours. Also with the Storrors' response on the story post. I've spoken to other women since who were victimized by him, and also found out those who protected him all these years. My anger and disgust and rage knows no bounds right now. I also have a third one here that is just a screenshot. Oh, no, excuse me. Found this store plus according to them, the rest knew. And it looks like some DMs. I'll try and get the screenshot up, but if not, the link will be in the description below. And it looks like a screenshot of somebody replying to Yoga with Olive on what I can assume is Instagram. I'm not 100% sure because it's Android layout and I'm not used to this. And they said, holy shit, you're his ex. Responded with, yes, I appreciate that. And yes, they all knew in 2019 when his ex before me told them. She found a whole folder on his phone. So then that means they've known about it. That's what I was saying in my last video. There's no way that they didn't know about it. Like, you've been his friend for 10 years. And then now, I mean, you've more than 10 years. But now it's coming out that in 2019, one of his exes found a folder on his phone. That means somebody's been hiding this for at least 10 years, which is crazy. Continuing on with the original Reddit post that we've been referring back to, IGN, from my limited perspective, led the charge on speaking about how Callum had made her feel uncomfortable. Later posting a message from my recollection on how she was glad she stepped away as it acted as a central point for affected women to get in touch. Her story primarily focused on how she noticed Callum would get fixated on girls in the same scene and cling to them to an uncomfortable extended. Wait, what? Clinged to them to an uncomfortable extent. This then expanded to her experience with him doing this to her, and how at one point he was attempting to mirror her actions, such as her scratching her arm, and him mirroring it with this continuing to the point that she felt compelled to call it out. I suspect this story carried on, but as far as I know, but it's as far as I got. I had no idea I would be writing this and trying to thread all this together till I started doing it. Later, IGN posted again saying she received messages calling out her claim that people in the scene were complicit with Callum's behavior due to his status. She apologized to those people, but suggested that their strategies to avoid him, not associating, etc., were not enough. Especially in hindsight, I didn't see any rebukes publicly, but this is not particularly surprising. If anyone has any corrections or further information to supply on this thread, I invite it. It's certainly not a full picture. There seems to be some confusion on if the images are real. In my research, the answer is we don't know. The definition allows for the possibility of some files could be real photographs, some could be artificial, including AI or CGI, or it could be a collection of just one type. The specific law applicable is Protection of Children Act 1978, Section 1. It is an offense for a person to take or permit to be taken, or to make any indecent photographs or pseudo photographs of a child. So the law doesn't differentiate between a real picture, a generated one via alternative means. It's all CSAM. Callum has pled guilty to these charges. This is not an investigation during which he could claim the downloads were accidental or sent to him. He is awaiting sentencing following an admission of guilt. I appreciate it is tempting to hope that this can be incorrectly explained away, but if he were to attempt to do so, he would have had to pled not guilty and explain the reason in a court of law. The charges as per magistrate's court. Make. This can also mean download indecent photographs, pseudo photographs of child. 3 counts. Possesses a prohibited image of a child. Possesses extreme pornographic images portraying an act of intercourse / oral sex with a dead / alive animal. It should be noted, if Callum were personally creating these images, further charges would likely indicate this. I didn't know that. I had heard from one of my buddies that they found something out about people coming out and his exes coming out and saying that they had mentioned something to Storror 10 years ago. I couldn't find that post, and I'm glad that it came up in here. And this guy did some really good research. Shout out again to newly acquainted glutton on Reddit, because he did some thorough research and was true what my buddy told me. Not that I doubted him or anything, I just couldn't find it at the time. But I do have the images of the exes talking about it, and if what they say is true, then that means what I said in my last video was that somebody in Storror did know. And they've known for at least 10 years, which is fucking insane. Like, 10 years, bro? Like, I'm trying to, like, think and put myself in the shoes because, like, let's just say I was Benj, right? And I was sitting in his shoes, and then Callum's girlfriend that he just broke up with comes up to me and tells me that my buddy has child porn in his phone. I would probably think that she's lying. Personally. And if she was super adamant about it, I would need proof. I would need some proof because substantial claims need substantial evidence. So, but the fact that nothing was done and they've known about it for 10 years and now are trying to cover it up and say that they just found out about it is honestly wild. And, like, I wouldn't blame Drew at all if that's the reason he left Storror is because he found out about this shit. He found out that the allegations that were made on him 10 years ago are true, and he just had to bounce. He had to separate from the crew before shit did hit the fan. That's what I'm going to theory craft up for now with the information that we have, and I'm going to give Drew the benefit of the doubt. But then again, at the same time, if that is the case, then he knew and he didn't say anything. He knew and he let this problem happen. So I give him the benefit of the doubt to a certain degree in the sense that, like, you're trying to separate yourself, but, like, bro, you got to do the right thing. Let's see here. Let's just go back over the summary real quick. Drew's IG deactivation was earlier in the timeline. Lisa's post added as a part of one of those within Callum's circle. Callum's ex was never in doubt, but is important context that I missed. Alucia's Tax 9021 pointed out the removal of various company assets such as YouTube videos. The YouTube schedule was removed following the disclosure of Callum's guilty plea. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything that we haven't touched on. Let's see if Toby removed his videos of Callum. Well, Chaps on Tour is still on his channel. I'm pretty sure there's probably some other stuff, but it definitely looks like Toby went through and deleted a lot of his stuff, unfortunately. Man, it's crazy to think that, like, their whole reputation is probably ruined because of this shit. And yeah, that's freaking gnarly, dude. Like, I can't believe how fast this shit just came crashing down. Like, 15 years of fucking parkour greatness just flushed down the drain just like that. Man, I'm genuinely at a loss for words. Like, they knew 10 years ago. Like, that's literally gonna be the name of this video, is Storrors covering it up. Man, I gotta know what you guys think about this. Like, this shit is literally, like, just fucking... Somebody said it in my comments the best on the last video. This shit is gut-wrenching. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach that somebody that has been such a big influence in parkour, my parkour life, my movement efficiency, the way that I even think about breaking down the human mental, you know, like, I can't believe it just came all crashing down like that. Anyways, you guys, I do have another topic planned. It's kind of to talk about what stores. It's kind of to talk about the actual store company itself, store brand, because Callum, as far as I know, I still have to do a little bit more research, but Callum owns 1/7 of the company. So I want to do a little bit more research and find out, like, when you watch a video or when you buy merch, if you are still buying merch, how much of that percent is actually going to Callum. Like, if you were to buy a shirt for, let's just say, $30, $50, how much of that $50 is actually going into Callum's pocket, him owning 1/7 of the company. But thank you guys for coming through, kicking it. If you guys haven't watched the last video, feel free to go over and watch that, and then keep an eye out for the next video, because we will have more updates as this goes along. We will try to keep up with what is going on with Callum himself and what his actual charges are going to be, and how what he's going to be sentenced is actually what I'm looking out for. So keep an eye out for that. Tomorrow's my last day of work, so I get a weekend after that. I would like to get out and do some training, not fill my whole timeline up with drama, but keep an eye out for the parkour news. We're going to try and keep doing it, and hopefully we can bring some more news to the light in the future with more positive news. But we definitely will still be keeping up with this and updating you guys on the progress of the case, of the sentencing, and of Storror in general. And once again, you guys, thank you guys for coming through, kicking it, vibing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, y'all. Bread and butter, boy. Yee!